Hello there, Internet. Hello there, YouTube. Welcome back to the Home of Gamers ongoing series of solo hardcore playthroughs of the game X-Men Legends 2. Check it out for yourself. It is abandonware. It'll probably run on your phone. You can download it in 30 seconds. It's a classic. It's free. Anyway, we're going to get in there. We're going to play. We are doing this run as my nemesis, Scarlet Witch, who I would say is the worst character in the game. Certainly the only F-tier character in the game. In a team context, she's fine. She has really very fantastic and strong buffs and some pretty decent utilities and things for your team if you want, if you want to min-max a team with buffs and everything else. But for a solo character, absolutely terrible. Terrible early game, terrible mid game, terrible late game. It never gets better. I don't even know if we can finish this. It's very likely we will die, and probably quite soon. But we're going to go into it. It's going to be very slow. It's going to be very grindy. We might have to lean on some cheese if we can. I did try this. I did actually start this, and I spent like a good hour and a half grinding Act 1. I did get a little bit tilted, and there were some technical problems, so we're going to have to start again, but that's fine. I normally stream around this time more so than the earlier start anyway, so let's get in there, and let's get started.
Let the games begin.
When I put the stream up, hold on just a moment. All right, sorry, just SMS there. Anyway. Yes, so when I booted this up, I was just quickly finishing up this trivia game because legitimately it is that bad on Scarlet Witch that, any little bonus we can get might save us. So we're just going to quickly finish this up. I think we were pretty much done with it by the time I started, so we're not going to be stuck on the boring old trivia game. He flies if you throw him hard enough. So let's see this. There's quite a few more questions than I remembered. That's okay. People can get a little bit of an education. X-Men lore while they're here. Very thrilling viewing, I'm sure. I really did think I was closer to the end here when I booted up the stream. Okay, here we go. Back to start. Bing, bing, bing. There we go. Beautiful. And look at that. Almost gets it to level. It is worth doing if you really want that early game. EXP, we're also going to do this because we get items. Items are great. If this is winnable, much is going to depend just on what random what loot we get. So there's going to be a certain element of RNG. Auto targeting. Ooh. That's quite a find. We're going to need every EP potion, every health potion. They're all going to be mana from heaven. The problem with this character is that she just doesn't do damage at all. And she's a ranged character. She, in theory, has the range advantage, but in reality, especially in the early game, her damage ability is rather useless. The animation, the casting animation is so slow, and the ability itself is such a slow-moving projectile that it loves to whiff. Boy, does it whiff. And yeah, we're going to sell everything aside from the one piece of gear that gives us a little smidge of damage. Any extra damage is going to be a freaking blessing. You're going to see, as soon as we get out, it's going to be terrible. Thankfully, I did remember how you kite these early game bugs at least, so we actually want to pull them into a choke. Anyway, there's going to be a lot of kiting, you'll see. Because we can't really afford to kite in the open because our ability is so inconsistent in actually hitting, we actually have to pull things into chokes and then projectile spam down chokes. So we have to kite everything back to chokes and then kite it in the choke. And that's actually really nice. We got a level. The problem, our stats suck. Having a bias for focus is nice. Speed is a dump stat on literally every build. Yeah, we wouldn't care about strike anyway as Scarlet Witch, because there's no way to amplify her melee damage. But lord, it would be nice to have a few hit points, just a couple. Unfortunately, we should be so lucky. We also essentially have nowhere to put our skills. 3% critical chance is a joke. This will not even refund the 60 EP cost you pay to use it, even if you stand that non-stop standing still for the duration. And here, yeah, any early damage we can get in is beautiful. EP, I can be patient enough in this game to essentially say that EP is a free resource. Because as you can see, EP does regen. Slowly, but it does regen. Life does not. And that's essentially always how you have to treat this early game. If your character has any kind of limitations in terms of their ability to clear fights without taking damage, you have to think, okay, how can I trade EP for life? How can I use my EP so that my life doesn't go down? Sometimes, depending on how quickly you kill things, you might actually prefer to lose a bit of life than to use a lot of EP. Depends on how quickly you kill things. If you have good plus damage gear, your character has naturally strong auto attacks, then just damage trading might be a more efficient use of resource. And that's how we have to do this. Is essentially we just bunny hop, and you know, we still eat some damage. There's not a lot we can do about that. And again, energy is a free resource. We're gonna have a lot of time to chat, a lot of time to get to know each other. On this run. If we can get to Blink, I may be able to power loot. I tried it during the last stream that I had to get rid of, and I couldn't get it to work, but I think I've remembered the strat or the way to do it. But if I haven't, I haven't, that's fine. See, the thing is, unless I can power loot for this character, I'm just legitimately not sure that Act 1 is winnable. That was a great high value use of energy there. This one?
That was quite enjoyable.
Let's come back a little bit. I want to regen some energy before we risk aggroing the others. Hopefully we can pick them off just as neatly as that first one. I would really appreciate that. I don't want to have to like keep kiting back so far. Nice. Hadouken. That's nice. Okay. Alright, we're clearing these fights. Relatively comfortable. The pace is extremely slow. The problem we're going to have is the enemies who spawn other enemies. They're just gonna be so, like, you know, they're tough. They're tough for anyone. Okay, alright. Okay, here we go. First real fight. The auto targeting. I hate it. So much. Alright. Yep. Wait out to the melees. Auto targeting. Okay. That was a little bit rough. To wait for some EP now. As I said, plenty of time to chat, plenty of time to get to know each other. I love action RPGs. I think my two favorite games ever are probably Planescape Torment and the Baldur's Gate series. Perhaps I should do some challenge content in one of those. But I don't think they're particularly great games for challenge content. Creeping forward. I really didn't need to creep like that because okay. It would be nice to get one free shot. There we go. Oh, we got the moves. Got the moves. Look. Ah, we do not have the aim though. Auto targeting. Get out of here on your bike. Wuss. Gone. Alright. Even getting a little bit of confidence with trash talking the bugs here. Gotta wait for this. Ah! No! Leave me! Leave me! Ah. Dance around him perfectly. And once again, we wait for energy. This is going to be a grind, this one. It just is. It's going to be a lot of grinding, assuming we can even make it. Grinding for extreme tokens, grinding for potions, grinding for health, grinding for money, grinding for items, grinding for everything that can make us just a little bit stronger. Give us just a little bit more damage, a little bit more sustain, anything, everything. We're running it.
I'd have thought you'd be more trouble.
Look at us go. We're just too good. Energy again, and that's not looking too bad. Let us push on. And those attacks really staggered out. We only got clipped once.
Quite enjoyable.
We get so little value from health odds because we do have so little health. It's rough out here. Everything is stacked against us. We'll chip this guy down. But, you know, when it's just one, we can kind of just do a little dance with them and not waste any energy, not have to rely on auto-targeting. I hear a bug. Okay, there. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take silly risks. I've found bunny hopping them just gives the most like consistent results as far as like sometimes you do just get a little bit beaten up doing it.
Enjoy your nap.
But you can get beaten up much more consistently doing it other ways. And here we go. Just a few more mobs. Maybe two more. Maybe even one more. Maybe no more. This area is really nice for kiting them, so this fight is... I was going to say this fight is not too bad, and then we proceed to genuinely get full stuck in the corner. And yeah, the main worry with that mob is that the EP regen guy is going to essentially tank shots for the other two. I'm not doing too badly though.
Enjoy your nap.
We're getting somewhat rough shake from the auto targeting now, but
I'd have thought you'd be more trouble. More power!
But she doesn't really get more power, that's the problem. You can't even put another point in this. And you all know how bad that is. It's 0.5%.
The X. You didn't say. Let me create. It's not sure.
Be careful in this. It had. Yes.
Now, any real chance of early game success with this character is going to hinge on my ability to power loot this area, which I'm still not certain if I can do. And I certainly can't do it without using some sort of exploit. But it doesn't involve me dying, so I don't know that it necessarily violates the spirit or kind of unspoken rules, I guess, of a hardcore run, but either way. So what we would do is we would save here, and then just load a bunch of other games in the hopes of clearing the map cache. And then I don't remember which one we were up to. Oh well. This should be enough. So, if this works, which it may not, and it doesn't, and I don't know if that's because I haven't loaded enough maps or if I'm messing something up, but what it would do is it would reset the cache so that all those barrels would be restored and I could power loot them to my heart's desire. Would mostly be for tech bits at this point, so I could buy potions and so on. The possibility of actually finding lots of good gear kind of not going to happen. Now here we can use these guys, and certainly will. Since I can't power loot, this is kind of what we're reduced to. It's going to be very, very, very tedious. But I also can't really afford to just skip fights, because we need the EXP. We've got some elites here as well. It's actually really good. Now we can just chill here for as long as it takes. Slowly wear them down. It's gonna be a while. Maybe I can. Uh-oh. I messed up. That's okay. What we'll do is try to...
Enjoy your nap.
Yeah, okay, so we'll clear this side, we'll come back. And yeah, I'm trying, if I can take a fight without using energy, I will, obviously, because... You know, time is obviously also a resource, even though I do, you know, in some ways I have unlimited EP. I don't, because I don't actually have unlimited time to wait for it to return, so if I can find little ways to kind of min-max and optimize, you know, I will. And these two. I need them in a spot where I can actually... Why can I not get... What is wrong with this? Okay, there we go. Now, I don't know if I can actually... Okay, alright, I can hit them.
That was quite enjoyable.
Very kind of hands-off, auto-targeting to its thing. Now here is probably where we actually lose this, but... Let's see what I can do. We're gonna do our best anyway. It's these guys because... Kind of precisely sniping them with this ability. Yeah, you can see how well that goes.
Terribly sorry about that.
And if anyone does end up watching this video, please don't say I never do anything nice for you. This is not fun.
That was quite enjoyable.
This is very much the opposite of fun. This is extremely, extremely tedious. And it's mechanically tedious without being mechanically rewarding. Because our only ranged ability is very, very, very RNG in terms of where and how it actually comes out. It's you have very limited influence over how it's actually aimed. We almost have a level, but it's gonna help us. If I sound depressed, it's only because I am. Bonnie Hope's in. I kind of have to just try to bully my way through that guy. Because... Oh... I mean... really sorry. I promise I am aiming at them. I'm not trying to sell this. It's really, really upsetting and frustrating to me that I can't aim this ability. You would have seen that same frustration when I was doing the playthrough with Rogue. You know, it's when the ability is so slow. Like, I need it to actually hit. And it just doesn't. It just doesn't do anything. Like, it's so horrible to use. But at least that's the big guy dead. I mean, it just straight whiffs these guys. Like, it's clearly like a broken interaction. I mean, we basically do the same damage to each other, which is comical. It just whiffs. It just straight whiffs. Oh, we're dead. We have one health potion. I mean, now I'm getting grief by the way. Like, I think this is just like a little bit of tilt on my part. Like, I can't even hit with melee punches. Like, how am I not supposed to be tilted though?
Hello.
Like, I'm playing a character that's just absolutely worthless. She has nothing. I couldn't, like, even if I bought that extra skill point, it's worthless. Like, what's it gonna do? It's not gonna help me. What am I gonna get? 0.5 critical strike chance? Like, that's 2 hits, I think, in all this time. I couldn't even guess at how many times we've actually cast that ability to hit twice.
have thought you would be more trouble.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of focused up.
More power!
Because I just can't make mistakes at all, and it doesn't even feel like... Maybe that'll help a little bit. You know, like it obviously won't help if it just can't hit anything, but... That was cool. Alright, we make sure there's no traps here. I'm gonna try to clear out this room. Honestly, I don't mind that.
Oh, I bet that hurt.
Okay, where is this guy who's spitting? I can hear it. Wonderful.
Terribly sorry about that. Give me help this instant!
I hope you can see how hopeless this character is.
Hello.
Oh, come on, please. I'm right next to it. I'm like... We maybe just lose.
Terribly sorry about that.
Close.
Terribly sorry about that.
Just getting, like, randomly clapped by nothing. Oh, there's another one. That's great. I don't honestly think this is winnable anymore. I never really thought that it was actually winnable, but... I mean, they...
I believe you've lost.
So there's still at least 2 more spawners. Now, I don't know if I could kill that many little bugs just as is. Because my abilities just don't actually hit them. I'm waiting on EP, by the way. I can't. I can't engage without EP. This is Scarlet Witch, by the way. The game's first dungeon. This is a character that many guides would say is like an A tier character or some absolute garbage like that. She's literally the worst character in the game, as you can see.
Let's get going. There's something very exciting that's about to happen just a little further in.
What? You just whiffing this again? Patience. Patience. They're not patient. Can do this. This is just a very, very awful way of having to play the game, but it is a way, and I think that we can get through this area at the very least. I don't know what we're gonna do afterwards. If we're gonna get easier, but we just with everything. I can't even be angry about it anymore. Alright, I am gonna eat a potion. I'm gonna creep just a little bit closer. We got one. Pull back, pull back, pull back out of aggro range. Need the EP. If just one would come?
Oh, I bet that hurt.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Just one. See if we can just pull one. Come on. Okay, it's okay. You know what? I'm good. We are in a strong position here, as crazy as it might sound. We're in the kind of position you actually want to be. We're trading this, which is an infinite resource as long as we have the patience, for the lives of enemies that are taking up space we need. The only issue is if we aggro the big guy, it makes him more fun. But
That was quite enjoyable.
looks like we just have a log jam of these little guys. We should be okay. Just clear them out, make some space. Make some space. This is all we need right now is just a little bit of space. Run around a little bit, we can get in there. Try to make something happen, but we can't do it if there are a carpet of these guys wrecking us. Their damage. Oh, he's one shot. Get him. It's okay. You just have to be super patient. A lot of them are low. They'll start popping. And I wish I had just a little bit more EP regen. What I wouldn't give for a little bit more EP regen. Just make that go up faster, please. Oh, if only this game were like Diablo and I could go back to town and get health and energy. But then, you know, in Diablo you pay for town portals, so in theory you pay to go back to town. The only time you can really do that for free is near a waypoint. Whereas in this game, damn it, the spitty guy is aggroed.
I believe you.
Ooh, okay. That's good. That's good. That's progress. I like that. And I like that. Health potion. You want to grab that? Alright, we got one of the spitters. You know, this is just what we're reduced to. You know, it is what it is. You know, these guys are just too dangerous. Like, we can melee them one at a time if we can. I mean, you see what I mean when I say they're too dangerous. Like, that guy just, like, they literally have, like, a freaking range attack.
I believe you've lost.
And it takes us a hot minute to chop one down. Now, there's one more spitter in there. And I think I can actually... I was going to say I think I can see him, but I can't. But he's one shot. Getting punished by those freaking ranged attacks again. Wait, did we get the last spitter? Alright. Well, that's this room not quite cleared, but almost. So many of these little jerks have spawned, we almost got another level. The problem is that levels just don't really do that much for us.
I believe you've lost.
Just chip this guy down for free. Safe. I mean, no one I've played has struggled like this in the early game. No one. And no one will. I need a little bit of space, a little bit of time. Recoup some energy. I mean, I guess I can eat a potion. Yeah, the potion really helped. Really helped. So, just to be clear, I would love to say, okay, well now we can just run past these guys, but here's the thing. You can just run through these tunnels. You can make up the EXP somewhere else. But I'll tell you what's going to happen. You're going to run, and then you're going to run, and then you're going to run, and then you're going to get into a spot where you can't get past whatever's there. Can't path through it or around it, and it's going to kill you if you try. And then you're going to run back, and then you're not going to have anywhere to run to. Because you've kited all these enemies after you.
stronger now.
and you have no space and you die. So that's an all-in strategy, and it's extremely unwise to try. I mean, you can do it, and then it's like, it's so fast to do it that it's almost like, oh, well, you can kind of brute force the game that way, because, you know, we've been doing this for almost an hour. You could have just tried to brute force these tunnels like that by just straight running through them. Or you could have tried that 3 or 4 times in the same amount of time. But then you're going to have to go back, and you're going to have to make up the levels somewhere else. And
I'd have thought you'd be more trouble.
can't forget bunny hops. So yeah, I do not really endorse trying to play like that if it is at all possible to grind your way through. It is definitely possible to grind your way through. Just agonizing.
I'd have thought you'd be more trouble.
As you can see, we can clear these guys without taking too much damage. It does mean saving money for items is not really going to happen, but
I believe you've lost.
I'd like to just cut one of them if possible, but it looks like they're both stuck.
It was quite enjoyable.
Now we're coming up on kind of the first real boss mob of the game, and they are always very dangerous. Even if you play a strong character, depending on the aura they get. These guys can potentially wreck you. every individual bug that we can fight away and deal with, we will. And then I'll probably go back and buy some health potions just in case. Wasn't exactly perfect, but messy either. Just waiting for EP so I can. Oh.
Enjoy your nap.
I kind of had to use those energy potions there just because I had an opportunity to pump damage into the spawners, and there's no guaranteeing that you would ever get that opportunity again. So
Hello.
now we're gonna see how we're actually faring here.
Take your time. There's no need to hurry.
You know, I kind of want a shoestring, but we're live. We're 2 levels away from actually being, you know, okay for a little while. I mean, it's something. It's I love enemies that just for no reason have like uninteractable hitboxes. Okay, well at least I know what side to shoot from. So now it's just a question of running around and waiting for our EP. When there's only one left, I can just dance around and melee him, but... Oh, okay. That was just RNG. I thought maybe... Oh well. As I said, when there's just one, you can melee him. You don't even have to think about it too hard. Just kind of run in a circle. It is a little bit painful, and they literally take like 30 shots. Don't understand why they're this tanky. Why we do so little damage. but it is what it is. Maybe we can snipe that guy, huh? There's 2 spawners. Okay, there we go. I said 2, actually, there's 1. Now this guy's faster than the little guy, so we just pull him outside the little guy's aggro range. Slowly, slowly, slowly chomp him down. Our regular melees. I can go back and do that danger room mission, and I would like to with EXP bonus to a stat point, piece of gear that we can sell,
I'd have thought you'd be more
potions.
trouble. It's not going to get any easier, you know.
She's right. It's not for us anyway. Maybe for them. All right, we still have a minute for the blink portal, so we'll keep. Oh. All right, you need to die. You need to die instantly. Yeah, thank you. Okay, good. Throw that. That's good.
I'd have thought you'd be more trouble.
Not much over doing that one the easy way. At least just get rid of this guy, he can't body block for him. It tends to whiff right over the head of little guys, which yeah, wait, he ran all the way. But did he get smacked maybe? He must have gotten bonked. Man. Patience, once again, patience. I can at least go back and do that danger room mission while we wait. Gives us something as well.
Be most cautious.
The training course.
We're an hour in, we're not even through the first dungeon. When I say that this character is the worst character in the game, she's F tier. Believe me, I am telling you the truth. And it's not like, oh well, I just don't know how to build her. There's nothing to build. I've shown you every ability that I could put skill points into.
All objectives have been successfully achieved. Course is now complete. Well done.
300 EXP. That looks so nice, so tasty to me now. That piece of equipment as well is a little bit smidge more tech bits. And I'm so skin flinty on this run that like we're not even going to wear all of our equipment because I'm trying to coax more equipment drops out of the game, which you can get if you're not wearing anything. We've a full EP bar, and we've yet to hit anything. Full EP bar. That's how bad this ability is. You can spam it 10 times and miss 10 shots. It's honestly probably going to be faster and slightly better for my sanity to try to melee these guys. Just because at least I can see a damage number consistently and feel like... As you can see, like, I can't even necessarily consistently hit with like a punch when I'm trying to kite around them quickly and avoid getting beaten up. What hope does this terrible Hex ability have? Alright, there's nothing too dangerous here.
Oh my! How did that happen?
Yeah, there's some big bugs. I think that, yeah, there's usually a bug with an aura. I mean,
I'd have thought you'd be more trouble.
like, I do actually understand that I'm supposed to lead with projectile aim, but the thing that I don't think people grasp until you try to play the game is that auto-targeting in this game, like, is literal RNG. Like, up to 360 degrees of RNG. I mean, like, it kind of will vaguely sort of maybe go in the direction that you want it to sometimes. If you make sure that you're, like, literally running in that direction first, maybe. But in terms of having any ability to, like, you know, quickly reorient and quickly aim or make a small adjustment because of,
Enjoy your nap.
you can't do it. So it's not like the bug is there and you can just consistently aim there because it's walking that. Like, you can't do that. It maybe goes in the direction you click. It may literally go 180 degrees in another direction. Like, that's how little control you have over auto aim in this game. Just don't worry about it. So yeah, just pointing that out, just in case anyone was kind of watching and thinking like, oh, the reason you're struggling is because you're not leading your projectiles. It's like, trust me, if the game would let me shoot where I want to click, then I would. I know for a fact it won't. So I know for a fact there's no point trying to aim like that. You know, the only way I can realistically aim is by trying to, like, kite stuff towards me in a straight line, and then, like, immediately 180 down the same straight line. And even then, there's an element of RNG. As you guys have seen repeatedly, sometimes the shot will literally just whiff straight over their head.
I'd have thought you'd be more trouble.
I was actually kind of concerned that there would be another spawner there, but no, it's just a bunch of misery and suffering having to chip down these little guys who, you know, it's pure RNG whether I can even shoot them or not. But it takes as long as it takes, you know.
Enjoy your nap.
And we just melee this guy, give our energy a chance to regen.
I'd have thought you'd be more trouble.
Great. That's great. That's even better. So we'll just wait here for a while while my EP slowly regens. I feel like I've relived this particular moment a few too many times thus. But it is what it is. Another completely worthless level that does nothing aside from give us some stats. What a pittance. How far back did I have to kind of that? So far. Still another. There's still 3. Well, I got 1. There's more than 3. It's like 4.
I believe you've lost.
Yeah, just 1, that's fine. good. We got the spawner. Isolate a fight with this guy. Slowly chip him down. We're almost at Grizzly. As I've said before, once you get to Grizzly, realistically, you can't lose because you can power loot. Whether or not we actually have the resources to beat Grizzly, I don't know, because we effectively do not have the range advantage on him. He will just get lots of free damage on us if we try to use Hexbolt against him. The casting animation is just too freaking slow. Honestly, if they're just gonna stand there like that, that's fine. Make my life just a little bit easier. Don't really have to run around too much. Oh, hands off the keyboard. We just stare for a little bit, wait for that EP to go up. Like I said, we were going to get plenty of time to get to know each other on this run through. I can still buy another set of potions, so, I feel like our early game is relatively secure now, but oh my lord, the grind. It has taken so long, it has cost me real sanity points, and we're still not done yet. I'm telling you. If you think it's going to be easy going through the core or something with her... Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no.
It wouldn't do to have the daughter of Magneto grow bored, now would it?
I am bored. I'm bored with how little damage you do, lady. I'm bored with how your ability just freaking whips. I'm bored with you. But yeah, in the teams, she's a good character. But we just literally whipped everything. They're all low, so we should be relatively safe to do this. I always forget to bunny hop these guys. Oh, there's still 2 more spawners. Okay, we kind of have to run away from this. Just to keep them out of aggro so they're not pooping out babies while our EP regens. The problem is they have this really long aggro range.
Enjoy your nap.
Alright, luckily I think... That's good. Sky... Melee will EP regens. A little bit janky to be doing it here with that archway blocking our view, but it's more a timing thing and a sound cue thing than a
That was quite enjoyable. Terribly sorry about that.
Isolated fight. Use our melees. Pick one off. Nice.
I'd have thought you'd be more trouble.
Should be relatively safe, just kind of running around waiting for the EP to come back. Yeah, the only problem is almost through. Almost through. Another spawner. But we need to deal with this guy first. Because they're too fast, they just body block. Auto targeting.
Terribly sorry about that.
You know, it's just like non-negotiable. I have to eat a certain amount of damage to kill the spawners.
Oh my! How did that happen?
Not much more in terms of the spawners.
It was quite enjoyable.
Alright, I needed a health potion. Like, there's no point even saying anything about the auto-targeting at this point, but, like, believe me, I'm saying it in my head, I'm saying it in my heart. I'm just so exhausted by it, I just don't even care anymore. It's just, okay, fine.
I'd have thought you'd be more trouble.
Hour and a half. We're still... I remind you, we are not coming up on Zealot, the second boss. We're not even at the first mini-boss. That's how bad this character is. Takes half this time for a good character to finish the whole of Act 1. Come on.
I'd have thought you'd be more trouble. Terribly sorry about that. Enjoy your nap.
I'm gonna need to buy any potions at some point anyway.
Hello.
This is very, very, very dangerous.
Selection, isn't there?
And I don't think I can justify it, but hopefully I'll have enough money to get that. Is 5 and 5 enough? I'll just have to make it be enough. We need the damage. makes such a difference. It means we 2-shot instead of 3-shotting, which with an ability as pathetically slow as what we're using is huge. Well, Scarlet Witch's power was originally that she could like hex people with bad luck, basically, or like change the probability of things, you know? Whereas like, I don't know, if someone was walking on a floor where like you could slip, she could kind of make it so you would slip. But as far as I understand it, all the stuff where it's just like, oh, and also she's just randomly magic, it can do all this other stuff too. That was all just kind of penciled in later. That's often how it is with superhero media, where like writers will start giving characters more abilities, mostly to solve problems that they've written for themselves, but
I believe you've lost.
I genuinely was concerned that we would not even be able to get to Grizzly with this character. But this has been the worst, the single worst character in the early game. And I mean, we're still so early game, we're not even at Grizzly, it's almost been 2 hours. You know, most characters finish the entire act in an hour. Good characters can finish it in like 40 minutes.
Ain't this rich? The X-Men and I was swore you now I'm owing this.
But you see what I mean when I say the animation is just too slow? Like, we can't kite anything. We get punished by everything. And as I say, it doesn't get any better for Scarlet Witch. I mean, it will get slightly better at level 7 because we'll have combustion. And we'll have some like AoE damage.
You've lost.
And that's literally how you have to take fights. Scarlet Witch, as pathetic as that sounds, it's like there's nothing you can do about it. You can't kite them, you're not faster than them, you can't bunny hop them without them CCing you, they only need to hit you once as you're going past them. You can't, as I say, you can't kite them because your ranged abilities are so slow that you can never get far enough away to... Like, if you get far enough away that you can safely turn and shoot, you're so far away that you have no guarantee that you're even going to hit them. And in fact, given auto-targeting in this game, you're going to whiff like a third of your shots.
Yes, I am even stronger now.
But we have got combustion, which is going to help us. As early game abilities go, as an ability that's unlocked at level 7 goes, it's very nice. It's actually very good. Kind of does everything you would want an early game ability to. We also get Mutant Master, so... You know, we're just in a much stronger place now. And you'll see what I mean exactly when we use combustion. Again, it's not a safe ability. It's not really a good ability because the damage occurs spaced out over 3 DOTs, and the DOTs do kind of CC a little bit, but not enough. So the problem with Scarlet Witch is basically that she has to hit trade, but she has no way of mitigating enemy damage. She can force enemy melee, and she can force melee enemies to take damage when they hurt her, kind of like Rogue. But she isn't invincible, so that's a limited utility. But at least at this stage in the game, we can, you know, much more safely engage a group like that than we could with our basic hex abilities, which are just the absolute worst. So having this, we should be okay for Grizzly, but I can pop back, grab a few potions, and I'll probably just be doing Grizzly to wrap this one up, to be honest. There's not much more I can... I mean, I'm certainly not going to be able to finish Act 1. And there's not even a point buying bonus skill points. Like, as you can see, I haven't even distributed all my skill points. There's nothing to put them in. I mean, I could max Hexbolt, but honestly, I'm glad to not have to use Hexbolt anymore. It's a terrible ability. It's just too slow.
Enjoy your nap.
You know, because at least this is hitting all three at once, so it's like, I know I just cast it twice. I maybe get a little bit beaten up in the process, but... if I can at least just tank the damage for those two casts, then I'm good. The problem, as you can see, comes in with ranged enemies. Because the weaknesses of these hex abilities are just like completely exposed. Bit of focus, very nice. And we are almost at Grizzly. We've killed so many of those little guys because of the amount, just because of how slow, because of how many of them get to respawn, that we're almost a full level ahead. Like most of the time when I do this, it's not like, because obviously we did the trivia game, which pretty much gets you a level. But most characters I do this with are barely getting to level 7 by the time they get to Grizzly. This one's going to be like somewhat close to level 8 before getting there, because we still have the other side to clear. As you can see, combustion is good. Combustion will make Act 1 clearable. Act 2 will be clearable with our ult. And it's like, now the game is clearable, but it's a question of like how much we're going to have to grind. Because we are going to have to grind for equipment. We are going to, because we're going to need the spikes, the power spikes. We are going to have to grind for levels to hit certain breakpoints before certain times, so we can wear better equipment. And we are going to have to grind we're going to have to grind for extreme tokens, basically. That's going to be a lot of the gameplay, because her extreme is her safest ability as far as engaging, you know, really dangerous scary mobs, but it's not a very good delete button for them. You might have to use it 2, even 3 times to get rid of a mob. And as you can see, our damage is just the absolute... It just stinks. I mean, that does a little bit more damage, but it's not going to hit, so... At least combustion is consistent. I mean, this character is the most leveled up that anyone has been for the Grizzly fight. She does have add damage gear, a lot of characters just didn't. And she's doing it the slowest of everyone. She has the worst damage. But, you know, we're not getting beaten up too badly, so... whatever. So yeah, she's not even like Sabretooth or Wolverine or something where it's like, you know, you're fragile, your kit's not the best, you have all these weaknesses, but like, you know, at least you do damage, at least like you're a machine when it comes to killing bosses. Like, she sucks at bosses, she sucks at ad clear, she's, you know, she's a... It's not like a glass cannon because there's no cannon, she's like a freaking glass musket, glass pop gun, freaking glass water pistol. And even then, you know, like, that's kind of, like, not cool to say about glass. Because, like, you know... Like, glass might shatter, but you gotta break it first. You gotta put some effort into breaking it first. She just kind of falls over on her own. But there you go, that's Grizzly dead. Almost took 2 hours to get to the first sub-boss in the game.
Hello.
There's 3 of them in this act, by the way. So we're like maybe a third of the way through the act. But what we can do now is, if necessary, we can power loot Grizzly's spot to make sure we get potions, to make sure we get tech bits, sweet cash monies, you know, all that good stuff. Might as well. But there we are. That's Scarlet Witch. We'll continue tomorrow. The suffering will continue. Yeah, honestly, I'm just like surprised we've even gotten this far. But here we are. And yeah, we'll see how long it takes us just to clear Act 1. I think I should finish Act 1 next episode. With combustion, things will get a little bit faster. And I don't see how we're going to die, aside from the Great Hall is always dangerous with tyrants. We're going to have to do that very slowly with extremes. But we'll see. The good thing about this game is you know what's coming around the next corner, and once you have a few resources, you can plan out your strategies, decide what resources you're going to need, and then go tackle it. Make sure you have those once you have the options to actually farm them and so on. But anyway, cross that bridge when we come to it. But now, just glad to have gotten to the first sub-boss 1/3 of the way through this act at the 2-hour mark. Absolutely a grind. She is the S tier character. This is the truest challenge run I've ever done. Anyway, take care. Thanks for everyone who watched. See you tomorrow.